Good morning. Today is August 10th, 2022. I saw an article this morning on Buzzfeed called 15 Red Flags that are actually cries for help. And it had me thinking about how valuable the garden has been for me and for my well-being, mental health, and I know for so many others. And I just want to put it out there for people who are maybe a little less experienced or who haven't had the privilege of growing up or living with plants and flowers in a garden. Just a bit of encouragement here, because unlike so many other options that people turn to that are considerably less healthy for a person when they're struggling with mental issues, anxiety, depression, stress, the garden, at least to me, really provides something that very few other experiences do, and that's this opportunity to give your mind a chance to rest, especially when it comes to the flowers in the garden. Watching life grow from seed to flower to plant is incredible, and that's like a whole nother story. But when it comes to flowers, there's something so captivating about them, and they really draw you in. If you're lucky, they'll draw you in a way that not much else does. And when they do, you get to give your brain a chance to breathe again, a chance to slow down and a chance to rest. Lots of other people will turn to, oh my gosh, okay, I'll have to listen. It's not all fun and games either. There's a lot of heartbreak in the garden. This is some either bunny or groundhog damage. Oh my goodness. All right, I did not see this coming during this video, but listen, that's part of it too. Like I just said, it's not always perfect and it's not always pleasant, but for the most part, if you get to come outside every day, and if you're lucky enough to be able to witness the changing light on the buds of a windy swish salvia, which is so hard to focus on, in that moment you get a break from whatever else might be on your mind, anything that might be troubling you. There's also the smell sense and the tactile sense too that plays a role in all of this. But if you're, again, fortunate enough to be able to take this in visually, unlike, let's say, alcohol, if you're drinking alcohol to deal with some issues, to get away from your problems, to me, what that does is checks you out. And while it may give you a moment away from your problems, it's creating other issues. Most people are aware alcohol is a depressant, so it's like one of the worst things people can do if they're already dealing with mental health concerns. However, okay, so right now I have to interrupt my own thought because I was over here with this lantana. Let me show you this again. And what you can't see in this video or even in person is what it smells like. And just handling it as minimally as I just was, I already have that scent on me, and I'm getting like whiffs of it now, and it's, I mean, it's this like moment of awe, this little moment of escape, but in a way that instead of checking out, you check in, and you are able to be fully present in a way that, again, I feel like it just allows your brain to take a rest. And in the same way that the body's muscles need a break from training once in a while, and maybe there's arguments against that, but usually you don't want to run 17 marathons in one day. If you can't stop worrying or stressing or feeling fear, your brain's not getting a rest either. So if you put something like this incredible, rarely seen in public or nature, these zinnias in front of you, you get a chance to let go of that, to again just become so fully immersed and present, and ideally awestruck. So I totally understand too that not everybody has a yard. So what I'd say to that is there are containers, there are pots. You don't have to go ape like I do. It doesn't have to be a huge project. A couple flowers, a couple plants. Look at the life on this. It's hard for me to reach here, but these sunflowers are more than an arm's length, and I'm about 5'5", so whatever that makes them, 8 something. And I'm on my tippy toes, so. Okay, so I lost my track of thought there for a second. Well, okay, so that's a perfect example. When you get to witness these sorts of experiences, again, you get to give your brain a chance to just like let go for a minute. And the bonus is, unlike doing drugs or whatever your vice may be, when you get that chance, it doesn't cause additional issues. It doesn't cause additional damage. It, in fact, enriches your life. I don't have the science for it. I don't know if it's been fully studied, but there is something about being exposed to the flowers, to the plants, to the growth, to the patterns, to the colors, that is so, it's like spiritual food. It's food to warm your heart and to heal whatever ache you have in your spirit. To me, again, this is all to me. So, but I think if you get yourself in an environment, which is my next point, if you don't have containers, if you can't do containers for whatever reason, if you're in an apartment without any sort of light or outdoor space, my recommendation, and I strongly, strongly recommend this, is to look and reach out and seek out your local growing community. So There are community supported agricultural programs, CSAs for short. There are likely local farms. Hopefully you'll have some nearby somewhere. And I can't think of any farm that I know of that wouldn't be thrilled to have some volunteers, even if it's just a couple hours a week. So I actually volunteered at a farm. I did, I think, 2 hours a week. It's very, very minimal, a few years back, and it was such an incredible experience. Immediately, my environment, my network changed, and I was able to bring in the cross-section of folks that really, I mean, I'm talking very different backgrounds, that all were united around the idea of growing food and being in that space. And you will learn so much from that experience. Being a new gardener can be very daunting, I think. So to have a crew of people in your back pocket that you can go to and say, hey, how does this work? Is this supposed to look like that? What's going on here? Why is this yellow? What ate my X, Y, or Z? Is extremely valuable. And then I'd say, if that's not an option, if you're limited by your mobility or transportation or any other number of factors, and doing the physical growing isn't something that you can manage, there are so many gorgeous programs on the internet, on television, that you can get a really great idea of what's going on in the garden and have that same shared experience. Look at this poor baby here. Again, it's not always pleasant. I think I have I did see a groundhog the other day, and that was the first time in years, and he's been chopping up all my stuff here. It looks like he probably tried to climb this. I did see another piece that was definitely groundhog damage. So anyway, one of the programs I'm pretty much obsessed with is Gardener's World. It's from the BBC. It's hosted by Monty Don. There's another program from the BBC also, or from the UK at least. It's Klein. They have the most beautiful camera work, and it really shows you kind of like the next best thing to being in a garden yourself. So I guess the thing I would say lastly too is that if you're hearing this and it's resonating at all with you, or you've sort of tried everything else, I would really hope you'd consider just trying this too. There are so many benefits besides just the mental health as well. Giving back to the land, you're feeding maybe yourself, your family, your neighbors. And for anyone, again, I guess that's